What purpose does your ambition serve? I used to believe that ambition meant chasing a salary and status to prove my worth. But my experience of burnout commanded me to give ambition a new purpose. And that purpose is to become a well-rested woman. My childhood ambition was to become an international businesswoman like my auntie Aminata. She glowed with joy and she smelled of Rive Gauche perfume. She was the first woman I heard being described as ambitious, and the way people said her name made me know she was important. Her ambition took her all around the world. I didn't know what an international businesswoman was. I was about 6 years old. But I knew that if it made me look like her, that's what I wanted to be. My mother's ambition for me was the security of a good job so I could live a middle-class life with all the trappings. A 1930s semi with bay windows and a driveway, a profession that impressed when people ask what I do, and qualifications in something specific, because that's a signifier of status, a demonstration that I add value, and I'm worthy of respect. Deloitte's 2022 Women at Work report found that half of the women they surveyed were talking about experiencing burnout. And many of them shared that they felt the need to work extra hard and always be on to prove themselves. Maybe you were taught something similar, that hard work makes you good, and that at some point, this hard work would pay off. The thing is, that hard work keeps us trapped in a cycle of working and overworking, and there's never any satisfaction. We internalize the belief that if we work hard enough, one day we'll be able to live a middle-class life with all the trappings. But at what cost? To give you an insight into my childhood, this was a fancy, right? This was a fancy dessert. Special occasions, birthdays, Christmas, you name it. And like many working class people with middle class aspirations, I internalized the belief that if I worked hard enough, I would be able to live that middle class life, that life of comfort, but I didn't think about the cost. I realized that I was paying with my humanity. So I enlisted 3 tools to help me humanize ambition. Number 1, regulate before you react. Number 2, redefine success. And number 3, consider ambition as an ecosystem. Enlisting these tools helped me realize how I had internalized the myth of having it all. It kept me trapped in a state of busyness. Busy, busy, busy. And society reveres busy. It keeps us trapped in a cycle of doing it all. We are in a perpetual state of busy, repeating tasks over and over again, like we're artificial intelligence, foregoing our human intelligence. And that is dehumanizing. That dehumanization makes us behave in ways that are mechanical, and we're rewarded for being mechanical. We're rewarded for suppressing the wisdom of the body with the willpower of the mind, and we call that a strong mindset. Research by UCL Berkeley found that productivity goes down by up to 68% when we push through. Yet society rewards us for it. And I want to give you a real-life example. It's December 2022. I go to Ghana for Christmas for some relaxation and restoration, and also to shake my butt in Dirty December. I was really ill before I traveled. No surprise, because work had been unrelenting. I worried that I wouldn't be able to board that plane. I took medication, I mind over mattered it, I managed to board that plane, feverish and relieved. Within a few days of arriving in sunny Accra, I headed to a beach resort for some much-needed R&R. On day one, I rested, I laid on the beach, I ate lots of plantain, jollof rice. Day two, I sat on the beach, rested, but still a bit feverish because I still had my cold. And I spotted somebody doing circuit training. For some reason or the other, they invited me to join in, and the next thing you know, I'm doing laps and squats in the sand. Trust and believe, I regretted it later. But I couldn't stop myself, because the taskmaster inside my head said, "You're not that ill. You're just being lazy. You haven't even coughed." My goodness, I made up for it later. My mum was there, and she happened to record me doing my exercise whilst I was unwell. So I decided to upload the video onto Instagram with a silky smooth voiceover saying, despite all I knew, I couldn't rest and relax on holiday. I put the video on Instagram, and before I knew what was what, the comments started rolling in. Various versions of, "Yes, I love your resilience." But that wasn't resilience. It was worshipping toxic levels of productivity. It was forgoing my humanity to operate like a machine, dehumanizing myself. Research by UCL in 2021 found that society equates overwork with being a moral good. That forgoing our human nature, not listening to our bodies, is what makes us good. It makes us worthy. We are on a treadmill of non-stop productivity, and we pay with our humanity. Overwork is woven into the fabric of our society, rewarding us for behaving like machines. It's like driving a car and revving the engine simultaneously, shortening the vehicle's lifespan. And that's not a metaphor. It's what we do to ourselves. It's dehumanizing. It compromises our relationships. It compromises who we are. It's essential that we dream, dare, and do ambition differently. We're rewarded for emotional detachment, endless productivity, and being disconnected from ourselves. We are told that's how we create satisfaction. But in late-stage capitalism, ambition can never be satisfied, which is why we must dare to create a new standard of ambition that satisfies us, not just corporate greed. Ambition is not the problem. Disconnection is. Ambition that is devoid of connection to things like joy, purpose, and belonging is dehumanizing. It disrupts human connection and flourishing. When ambition comes from fear, it disconnects us from ourselves. When ambition comes from proving ourselves and proving our worth, it disconnects us from each other. When ambition comes from urgency culture, it disconnects us from meaning. So how do we humanize ambition so that it can become a life force that energizes us instead of depletes? I would like to offer 3 practical tools that we can do at any time, in any place, with no cost to ourselves. In fact, it offers us a benefit. Number 1, regulate before you react. Before you autopilot, automatically say yes, or go into overfunctioning, I want you to pause. Inhale, and take a slow exhalation, feeling your connection to whatever it is you're sitting or standing on, and maybe lay a hand on your chest for extra support. This will slow your thinking down so that you are making a choice from intention. Number 2, redefine success. We can redefine success with one simple question. Is this ambition taking us closer or further away from a life that feels like a home-cooked meal? At times, we do have to make choices that don't feel nourishing. But by asking ourselves this question, we can make a choice from intention rather than autopilot. This one question enables us to recalibrate decision-making so that we're actually consciously making decisions. And then number 3, consider ambition as an ecosystem. If ambition is fertile soil, what do you want to grow? More joy, more peace, more rest? This is how our ambition becomes more wholesome. It's not just confined to productivity, success, and making more money invariably for somebody else, the taxman or whoever else. This is really important because it's a common experience for us to be overworking and over-delivering, but this experience is amplified for women of the global majority and black women due to structural inequalities. It keeps us trapped in a cycle of working twice as hard to be seen as half as capable. It keeps so many of us stuck in survival mode, and it's not on. If we come together and redefine what ambition is so that it is humanized, we humanize it for us all. I invite you to consider what ambition would look and feel like if it nurtured us, if it supported connection, if it enabled us to have enough energy left to be present with our loved ones. What would it be like if ambition was informed by our biology and our values? When we're able to do that, it becomes a force for liberation that supports people and planet. It becomes something that is relational and regenerative rather than extraction. It enables us to focus our ambition on things that make life truly meaningful, like having time to spend with our loved ones and enjoy the fruits of our labor. Imagine what your day-to-day experience would be if you were able to ask yourself, how can I set up my day so that my ambition feels like that home-cooked meal? When we can consider ambition in this way, we will not be doing squats in the tropical heat. We will be taking breaks in between meetings, and we will be considering what is important to us. Because this is systemic, we cannot do it alone. We need to do it together. When we humanize ambition as a collective, we humanize it for everyone, redefining ambition and having more life for ourselves and more life for this planet. Thank you very much.